Hey, what's up everyone? Misspelling Master for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council here. Going to share with you guys today the deck profile for the Blue Eyes Dragunity deck that I was showing you guys some combos for before, just in case you didn't go over to my channel to see the deck profile. And if you did, well, then you can either continue watching or you can turn away. If you continue watching, you might see something you didn't see before, because I know I'm going to be discussing a couple of things that I don't remember mentioning in the other one because I simply forgot about them. But anyway, if you guys like what you see in this video and or the last video, be sure to check out the rest of the Dragunity videos over on my channel. And as always, be sure to check out the rest of the content the TheYugiohCouncil has up as well, because they put up some good videos as well. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this. We got 3 Dragunity Phalanx, which is standard for Dragunities. You have to get these things into the grave as quickly as possible to be able to use them with your ducks and your Mistletoe, Vajrayana. All those things need this guy in the graveyard in order to work properly. Then we got 3 Dragunity ducks, which is pretty standard as well, both before Ravine was banned and after it was banned. We got 2 Dragunity Arma Mistletoe. This guy is one option in order to go for all your big Dragunity combos. You need a level 6 dragon, and you need a Gay Durg on the field to make all of your big combos possible. And this guy's a level 6 dragon. Alright, we got 2 Garuda. Fantastic card for the deck. It allows you to go for Vajrayana pretty easily. It also allows you to go for some other combos, like you can go for a rank 4 Xyz. And also, there's a lot of times I'll put a Tempest into the graveyard and then banish it with this to special summon this. And then I can use Tempest's ability to either add a Phalanx to hand or a Mistletoe to hand. And then if I have the other one in hand, meaning if I add a Phalanx to my hand and I already had a Mistletoe, that's all the big combos right there. If I don't, well, it still allows me to go for some nifty plays. This guy's fantastic. 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. This is where the Blue Eyes part of the deck kicks in. We got 2 White Stone of Legend. 3 of either one is completely unnecessary. 1 Tempest, because it's limited. 1 Darkness Metal. 1 Zephyros. Never added 2 of this guy, even when Ravine was a thing. Now that's gone, you certainly don't want to add more than 1 of this. Darkness Metal wouldn't even add more, even if I had the option, most likely, because it can clog up. 1 Baby Rock allows you to go for more synchro options than would be possible without it. 2 Card D for some extra speed in the deck. I'm always going back and forth between which cards I like better in terms of draw power. Sometimes I like Pot of Duality, which is very, very good turn 1 or 2. Usually I like Card D, but it does use up your normal summon. So what are you going to do? You gotta test them all out, see what you like the best. And right now I think I like Card D the best. Maxi is another option, but I just find Card D to be better, usually. Alright, spells. That's 20 monsters. Spells, we got 3 Dragon Shrine, which I'm sure you were expecting. That's pretty standard. It allows you to ditch the White Stone of Legend, add a Blue Eyes to hand. It allows you to put the Phalanx in the grave, of course. It allows you to put Tempest in the grave, which allows you to banish it for Garuda. So just a lot of things this card does. 3 cards of Consonance. Probably were expecting that as well. You have 6 targets for it. You have 3 with Phalanx, 2 with White Stone, and 1 indirectly with Tempest, because Tempest can be discarded along with another Wind to add a dragon to hand. So that's why I say 6 targets. Now, this you might not be expecting. 3 trade-in. Now, you might be wondering, well, hey, Misspelling Master, how can you possibly justify running more trade-ins than targets? Meaning, I only have 2 Blue Eyes in here. Well, the reason for that is because it is very rare to draw into this and not have a Blue Eyes available to me. It is far more common to draw into a Blue Eyes if I run 2 trade-ins and not be able to get rid of it with trade-in, and that's a brick in the hand. You've got 2 Blue Eyes. You've got 2 White Stone of Legend, which are indirect means of using trade-in, because you can set it down on the field and then it'll be sent to the grave pretty quick. You've got 3 Dragon Shrines plus 1 Foolish Burial, which could put a White Stone into the grave to add a Blue Eyes to hand. So you've got like 6 direct ways of getting a Blue Eyes to your hand and 2 indirect ways. So basically I figure that for every 2 targets you have, you should run 1 card like this. So for instance, if I only had 2 ways of getting Blue Eyes to hand, just the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, I would run 1 trade-in, if even 1. But, you know, since I have 6 ways of getting them to hand, 3 trade-in. Alright, we got 2 Instant Fusion. Allows you to go for your Marvelous, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Gold Sark, 3 Reckless Greed, because this deck is all about speed. 2 Trap Stuns to help deal with some of that back row. Sometimes I like Forbidden Lance better, because usually when I use a Trap Stun, it's only to stop 1 trap, in which case Forbidden Lance is just as good, obviously. Plus, it can be activated from your hand, which means you don't have to wait a turn for the Trap Stun to go off, or become an option to go off. But, you know, there are just enough times where my opponent runs multiple trap cards that I do like running the Trap Stun better. 1 Compulse and 1 Boundless. That's 40 cards. Alright. How many cards in this deck are geared towards speed? Like I said, speed is the most crucial thing in this deck. Well, let's see. I run the 3 Reckless Greed. If you're not going to have a decent means of draw power, I do not recommend the Reckless Greed, because if you activate 1 by itself, it's a -1, and it can kill you often as not. So the only reason I run the Reckless Greed is because of how many draw power cards I have. The odds of drawing into multiples of these and activating them multiple times before I have to draw any cards is pretty good. So that's why I run these. If I didn't have the things like the trade-ins and I didn't have the card Ds, I would definitely trade these out for something like Jar of Greed or Yatagarasu or Pot of Duality. Alright, we've got, let's see, we got the 3 trade-in, like I said before. We got 3 cards of Consonance, 3 Dragon Shrine, because that really is meant to add speed to the deck, 2 card D, and let's see, Tempest is speed because you can discard him to add another thing to your hand. And I guess that's pretty much it. Although, no. Blue Eyes I'm not going to count as speed, but I am going to count White Stone of Legend, because if he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add Blue Eyes to your hand. So you can see here, we've got like 3, 6, 9, 12, 17 cards in the deck geared towards speed. So even if you don't count the White Stone of Legend, over a third of this deck is meant to just add more and more speed into this deck. Basically, there are 2 ways of making Dragunities viable. You can either combine them with another deck and make a hybrid deck, like with Heretics or Harpies. You can do that. Or you can simply add so much draw power into the deck, like I'm doing here, that you just run through your entire deck really fast, more often than not, get to all your key pieces that way. And this deck does a pretty good job at it. I mean, I'd say probably 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 times within 2 or 3 of my turns, I will have gotten to all the key pieces I need, because I'll either draw them within an opening hand, which isn't too unlikely, or more likely than that, I'll draw into a card D plus a Reckless Greed, or a Reckless Greed plus a Blue Eyes plus a trade-in, or some combination, and, you know, go through, draw into 6 more cards. Basically draw a whole new opening hand by turn number 2, and, you know, sometimes I'll draw up to like 12 cards in one turn. I've done that before too. There are sometimes that I'll be on turn number 3, my turn number 3, or turn number 4, and I'm already down to like between 12 and 18 cards left in my deck, just because of how many cards I draw with this deck. It's just insane. But that's the goal of this deck, is to just power through your deck as fast as you possibly can. Alright, now let's take a look at the extra deck, shall we? We've got 2 Marvelous. I've only got 1 here because I cannot remember right now where I put the other one. I gotta look through my card collection and find it. But 2 Marvelous. I do not recommend just 1, because this deck draws cards so fast that you're going to be drawing the 2nd Instant Fusion most likely. So if you've used up 1 to get out Marvelous, the other one is just a dead card in your hand. Nothing you can do with it. So I definitely recommend 2 Marvelous. 3 Vajrayana, which is pretty standard. 1 Gay Durg. Makes all of your big combos possible. Crimson Blader, because he wins so many games by himself. 1 Scrap Dragon. I was testing out Colossal Fighter, and Colossal Fighter, I found people can just work around it way too easily. Plus, Scrap Dragon is a dragon, which means Aether Ice, Silver Dragon can protect this, and Queen Dragoon can protect this. Not to mention, it can be revived with Darkness Metal. And if you choose to run Stardust Spark Dragon versus the regular Stardust Dragon, this combos extremely well with Stardust Spark Dragon. But out of the 2, I do prefer the regular Stardust more. 1 Keeper of Boundaries, because that kills so many decks. 2 Aether Ice Silver Dragons. Strictly speaking, the most competitive way to use this is probably to run just 1. But since this is a Blue Eyes, a slightly more Blue Eyes heavy, Blue Eyes based deck, I'm running 2 because it is pretty easy to make 2 in this deck. And you can actually keep making them if you make an M7, which isn't too difficult. If you pull off the Azure Silver Dragon play first turn, which if you don't know that, check out the video that is up on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council from a couple weeks ago that has my combos for this deck, or head over to my channel and you can find it there. But either way, if you make the Azure Silver Dragon play first turn and then you make an M7 next turn, you can use M7 to keep recycling these things back to the extra deck and keep making them very easily over and over. Very cool loop to pull off. For XCs, we got 1 Queen Dragoon Jin. Thanks to her, not difficult at all to make the Silver Dragons. 1 Heretic Dragon King of Atom, and 1 M7. So, with the 2 Mavalices, that's 15 cards. Alright, that's just going to wrap it up for today, I believe, because the combo videos I already put up elsewhere, so I think I did enough in terms of combos. I'm just going to quickly take a sec to see if there's anything else I wanted to discuss. No, I think I'm all set. Oh, actually, that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to just show off quickly just how many different opening hands you can do that allow you to start off with all of your big plays. One means is by drawing into Tempest and then having something you're willing to discard to add a Mistleton to hand. So let's say you have the Phalanx in hand, you know. Phalanx plus Tempest plus Ducks. That allows you to open up all your big Dragunity plays first turn, because you discard these 2, add Mistleton to hand, he's in grave, you summon Ducks, bring Phalanx back, special summon Mistleton over Phalanx, there you go. Alright, another means of doing it then is by having something that puts Phalanx in the graveyard, plus a Mistleton in hand, plus a Ducks. So if we go ahead and do this, that allows you to start off with all of your plays as well. And likewise, if you've got a Garuda in hand instead of the Mistleton, it works too, because you can use Dragon Shrine, put a Phalanx into grave, bring back Phalanx with Ducks, go into Vajrayana, bring back the Phalanx, de-equip Phalanx, banish the Ducks from play for Garuda, and then go into Gay Dirk. So basically Garuda plus or Mistleton equals this same opening option. Then we've got the option to have the, let's see, a Dragon Shrine or a Foolish Burial. We'll say Dragon Shrine plus Garuda plus Phalanx or Mistleton. And I think I better start moving these down before I run out of space here. But like I said before, if you've got either one of these in hand and you can use Dragon Shrine to put a Phalanx, or sorry, a Tempest into the graveyard, banish it for Garuda, and then you can add the other one to hand, that allows you to go off on all of your big combo plays as well. Alright, and there's, I know there's one more in here. I'm just trying to immediately remember, oh boy, which one it is. Obviously, Gold Sark also allows you to make a bunch of big plays. You could put a Gold Sark in here instead of a couple of these other things, like, you know, Gold Sark instead of the Tempest. You banish the Tempest, then you get to add a Phalanx or a Mistleton to hand. If you have the other one plus a Ducks, obviously that allows you to go off in your big plays as well. Oh yeah, here we go. Instant Fusion instead of the Garuda or Mistleton is also an option, because, you know, obviously that allows you to go into Mavalice, which allows you to go for the Gay Dirk as well. Let's see. Yep, that's the last one I was thinking of. So, you know, Gold Sark or the Tempest, and there's the Foolish Burial, of course, in here, which allows you to go for things as well. Oh boy, there was one other one I was thinking of. Oh yeah. This is another one. If you have a Foolish Burial plus a, let's see, Phalanx, plus I'm going to have to borrow one of the Mistletons. If you've got the Mistleton here, if you happen to open up something like this, if you Foolish Burial the Zephyros to the grave, and then you normal summon the Phalanx, and you special summon the Mistleton over the Phalanx, and bring back the Phalanx to your side of the field, and then you bring back your Zephyros. Let me get him out of this monster line quickly. So you Foolish Burial Zephyros into the grave, and then you use Zephyros' ability, bounce your Mistleton back to your hand to special summon Zephyros from the grave. You can then special summon Mistleton over the Phalanx, and then you can bring back the flanks from the graveyard again and sink Zephyros plus Phalanx into Gay Dirk or Vajrayana. Now, in that case, you've already used up your Zephyros' ability, which unfortunately means you won't be able to bounce your Darkness Spell back to hand unless you get an M7. If you make an M7, which isn't too terribly difficult in the deck, then you can bounce back Darkness Spell back to hand with M7. But the point is, it's not ideal because you have to use up your Zephyros' effect, but that is another way of opening up with it. If you happen to get Foolish Burial gives you a lot more options than, than if you don't have it in your hand. And it gives you even more options than Dragon Shrine, since it's not limited to giving you back a dragon to your hand. Alright, that's going to be it for today, guys. So, as always, guys, comment, rate, and subscribe both to my channel and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. And take care. Misspelling Master, signing off.